Man, y'all came in like y'all like a Friday, like y'all had a picture. That's a good thing though, for real. Thank God for y'all good spirits. That's a great thing to come in like this, especially on a cold day. It's getting cold outside. Mike probably like cold weather.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, keep wearing sweaters. I told her to keep, I got my 5 coats, so when the cold weather comes, we can look nice. But most of y'all don't like cold weather, but hats off, y'all guys came with a great spirit. And that's a good thing. Last time I taught y'all a great spirit too. And that is amazing. And it's easy to teach. And apostles make it even easier and easier to get up here. Like I keep saying, give y'all something hand clap of praise. It's good to come out. Was important. But the lesson tonight, it's a good lesson. I got a lot to tell when I first saw the lesson. I said I do not want to teach it. Because this is talking about discovering the Holy Spirit. And apostle, and in this lesson, actually I'm talking to high power people. In his lesson, this is what apostle, and it's good he's teaching us this, but it's talking to high power people, and I really thought they weren't going to really talk about the Holy Spirit and just play around and be like, people don't really talk about the Holy Spirit. But before we get to the Holy Spirit or get to the lesson, I want to talk to get to the lesson, and I got a couple points I want to talk about. So if you give me about 15 minutes to get you to that part about the Holy Spirit, which is important, because most times we don't even think the Holy Spirit is important. We know we got filling of the Holy Spirit in Acts. And then we have the Holy Spirit, which we have here. In other words, back in the Old Testament, the priests go behind the Holy of Holies. I'm just telling you so you'll know the importance of the Holy Spirit. Back in the Old Testament, really, the priests went behind the Holies of the Holies. And that's what a covenant was. We just had one up here. And the priest went back there, and what happened was forgiven of our sins when he went back there. And he's, shrine or pomegranate. And if he got back there, if he wasn't holy, and it wasn't shaken, they said drag him out. And at the end of the year, we wasn't forgiven for our sins. And so we knew that wasn't going to go good. So that's where the Holy Spirit dwelled. That's why we need to set camp and take the temporary away. It was so important because that's where God dwelled. And then after that, after you got through that, that's when God said, well, this ain't going to work. I'm going to have to send my son. So when Jesus came and you got the smart people in the synagogue teaching, then Jesus came at a young age, and he's going against, kind of going behind the veil to see the covenant. Now that's unique because that's what the Holy Spirit is. We're going to talk about that. So Jesus comes and says, okay, 3 days later I'm going to get up and rise, and I'm really going to cut a tradition and going behind the veil. Because what was happening, our sins weren't forgiven. So we still was feeling bad. So what happened, Jesus came. That's why it's so important when he died. It said the veil was split in half. And nobody had saw behind the Holy of Holies besides the priest. So that was like crazy. That now the Holy of Holies was open that we could see where God lies at. So it was important to get to this. And what happened is, they said this to you. They said, did I go?
That's me.
Get back up. Get back up.
You cut it off.
You got me?
You cut it off.
Is that it? Is it? Appreciate it. So to get to there, let me say this. So let's talk about now to get to where God is at. Hey, give me back where you hear me. I want to hear myself in this one. You got me? Yeah, that's good. Let me hear myself. Good. All right, to get to that, let's get to the part talking about the Holy Spirit. Before we get there, let's talk about how big God is. God's so big and great that there's no way we can know where he come from, what he come from, and when he was made. I'm explaining it to you too. God's so big and great, there's no way, God, not Jesus, God, that we can know, and I'm going to get to the Holy Spirit, I'm going to explain that. There's no way we can know where God came from, what he came from, and when did he come. If God will reveal where, what, and when, that means God will have to become matter, space, and time. So if God ever revealed where he came from, what he came from, and when he came, God would have to become matter, space, and time. And you wouldn't want that because he wouldn't be God. Right. So when people want to know where God came from, what he came from, and when he came, if he revealed that, he can't be God. He got to be human. We live in a three-dimensional world. Matter of fact, it's so powerful talking about 3 dimensions. Your brain, male brains, weigh 3 pounds. Female brains weigh 2.8, almost 3.2. So we live in a 3-dimensional world. If y'all would know, you only can see 3 dimensions. You only can see 3 dimensions. At the fourth dimension, you can't see it. I'm going to explain it right quick. Right, come to the stage right quick, right? Come here right quick. We live in a three-dimension world. Our brains weigh 3 pounds. God's so powerful, your brain only weighs what dimensions are. All right, in other words, to help you out, that's why the Holy Spirit, that's why you need the Holy Spirit to help you. We're going to get to the part of discover the Holy Spirit. That's why it's so important. That you live in a three-dimensional world, your brain is only 3 pounds. If you try to get to the Holy Spirit, which is a supernatural, which would be a 4-dimension or 5-dimension, you can't get there without the Holy Spirit. And I'll explain that too. So right now, you got 3 opinions. 3-dimension basically are 3 90-degree angles, and some of y'all know that. So we're going to get right in with one hand to do 3 90-degree angles with your hand. In other words, make the opinion 3 90-degree angles. There you go. Show it to people. Y'all got it. Now I'm going to get right in a 4th one. Because that's, yeah, you got it pretty good. Yeah, go down some, man. Come on, man. Get your hand up, man. Get your mouth up. What's the word? I can't say the word. Is that about right? That's about right. That ain't try this over, man. That's about right. Okay, that's good. That's right. So in order to get a 4th dimension, I'm going to get Ron another pen and ask him to do 4 dimensions. Put it with that hand. Do 4 dimensions. He can't. He can't do 4 dimensions. The only way Ronnie can do 4 dimensions, let God step in. And it's so powerful that it's done with just pinions. And if you look up 3 dimensions, they'll show you all kinds of ways. If you look at up 4 dimensions and you look behind these pinions, if I sit in the audience, if it was 4 dimensions behind them pinions, it probably would be a face. In other words, in 4 dimensions, in 3 dimensions, you see a chair. But in 4 dimensions, I see stairs. Look it up. It's amazing. So your mind is on the point of the 4th dimension of the Holy Spirit so you can get in a 4th dimension. So when Apostle said walk out on faith, you see 3 dimensions.
All right.
What fool to walk off a cliff? But it's plenty of people have walked off a cliff, have fell out the sky, and lived. So the only what makes the Holy Spirit so important, I'll wrap it when I get to it, the Holy Spirit make you see in the 4th dimension. I ain't being deep. I ain't being crazy. Thanks, trying to get my hand. And I'm gonna get to this lesson. I get to this lesson lead up. Because what happened is with your life, if you don't get in the 4th and 5th dimension, you'll never go nowhere.
Right. Come on now.
Because you only see what you see. So when they talk about the Holy Spirit here, they're saying you need the Holy Spirit is so important because the only way to get to the Holy Spirit, you got to be in the 4th dimension. I say this. It said that's why you need the Holy Spirit to help you hear, believe, and trust in a bigger picture. Hear, believe, and trust. You need the Holy Spirit where you can hear, believe, and trust. And I get to this because without the Holy Spirit, you can't hear what God's saying, you can't believe what He's saying, and you sure can't trust Him. I should say this. I should say my bed. I said when I was going through in life, I took up my bed and now I'm carrying it. And I thought it was awesome to pick up my problems in life, and carry them. So now my problems don't have me. I have my problems. But God said when you go to 4th dimension, some of your problems can't carry you because they get the best of you. Some problems I can carry. I can carry alcohol. In other words, alcohol don't affect me like that. I see you go in the store in the 3rd dimension and I buy. I can carry weed. Weed doesn't affect me because I don't like weed. But some of my problems I can't carry. Some of my problems I got to bury.
That's right. That's right.
And I only can bury my hurt unless I'm in the 4th dimension. Because I can't bury my hurt unless I got Christ. Right. Because what hurt me, I enjoyed it. Right. Now let me explain. I'm gonna get to the lesson because I'm gonna tell you how important it is to have the Holy Spirit. Because see, y'all trip out at people who husbands beat them and they go back to their them, that's what you say now.
Right.
The only way you wouldn't, unless you in the third, or the only way they gonna get rid of it, unless they're in the fourth dimension.
Right. Amen.
Some things you can go around and live with it, but some things you can't go around no more.
Amen. That's right.
In the Bible, and don't forget your lesson after this. In the Bible, there are briefly only 8 appearances of God in human life form, but not in a physical form. In the Bible, it speaks of God talking to people, coming down, God himself, in 8 appearances. I know Moses said he saw God face to face, but if you keep reading, God told him you can't see me face to face or you'll die. I know my boy wrestled with the angel and he strapped with it, but you keep reading, he said looking like a person. I know the Hebrew boy said he saw God, but if you keep reading, it said it looked like Christ. In other words, God really had not physically been on this earth. Besides 2 places, and they didn't say it. This is why the Holy Spirit is important. If you look at Genesis, and all you got time to read 2 and 7, let me explain this. You look at Genesis 2 and 7, it talks about how God, let's go there. And after this, I'm going to get to the lesson. You understand? Let me get it. Genesis 2 and 7. It says, the Lord God formed man from the dust of the earth and breathed into his nostrils and the breath of life, and man became a living being. It said God formed man from the dust of what? Now if you look up where God appeared, they didn't even talk about this. God had to appear on earth, didn't he? Because it said he reached into what? The ground. Look at this one. Look at 22 and 21. 2 and 21. It says, 2 and 21. So the Lord cast the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and closed it in place in flesh. And everybody know he made what? Woman. Now, you know God had to be on earth if he did that. Am I right? Now, if you look that up, they never even talk about them two. So that's the only time God really can. Now, if you look at chapter 1 and read that, it talks about God spoke animals. Spoke animals and they came to see. But if you read and go to the second chapter, it said God made animals out of the ground. Go back and read it. So they tell you chapter 1 is different from chapter 2. That means it was a word here in chapter 1, but it was 1 in chapter 2. That's right. Read it. Go back and read it. It's going to blow your mind when you read this. One, God spoke to animals. Another, he said he came out the ground. So when God came onto the earth 2 places, when he came here, and when he came, watch this, when he came to earth, and you read that, the second chapter, he said when he made man and spoke life, you think man started moving. Man didn't move. Keep reading. He said, he put man in the garden. So in other words, if I can say it right, it's called a Coleman. If I say it, what it's called? Coma. Say it. Coma. You know how they been one of them, but you're alive and not alive? So if man would have been alive, that means God would have been matter, time, and space. Man couldn't be alive when he done it. When he spoke it to man, man was froze. Because God can't come into matter, time, and space. If so, will be equal with God. And there's no way will be equal with God. So he paused man. And he just stood there. And God finna do what he was going to do. Then he picked man up. This is crazy. Put man in the garden. And let man walk a little bit. He saw man was good. And decided to bring a woman. And guess what he done? He made man fall asleep again. He paused man again. He said, no way man can be in the same space, time, and matter with me. Because he'll be equal with me. And no way he can be equal with me. Put man to sleep. This is crazy. Pulled out a rib, created woman. Step back out of time. God, so what? He stepped back out of time, space, and matter, and let man live.
All right.
That's good.
That's good. Wow.
So God only came then. Let me get to the lesson, the Holy Spirit. The second time he came on earth, it was through Jesus. Neither one of them is coming back again. So God had enough wisdom to say this. If I come, I got to come through time, matter, and space. So I brought a man came. So I must send back something through Jesus so everybody can have a part of me. That's why they got discovering the Holy Spirit. Because it's got to be discovered. That's why it's less so. That's why you got to realize God is not coming back. And when they do come, time don't stop. Watch, it's got to stop. Why? Because it's a day and people gonna get up out the grave. This is crazy. He gonna shut the world down when he come back. He got to, because he's stepping out of nothing into something. This is crazy. So you got to understand the importance of the Holy Spirit while we got it, so it can be in everybody. Because it only would have been in that country with Christ. Because I don't care how good you are, Mike, man. I love traveling. I love flying. But man, I don't want to do that every day preaching the gospel. And by the time you get there, Mike, they're dead anyway. About time, okay, you got a problem at your house. I go and pray at your house. Rodney got a problem too. Well, Lord, by the time I get there, Rodney, you've been holding out on. And then I got to come over to your house. Then Ella Keith won't marry me, so I got to go to his house. God said, pause. We can do something greater than this. We can sit back the Holy Spirit and I'll send to everybody at one time.
That's right. That's good.
This running me crazy. Because what run me crazy when I really, because I didn't want to teach this lesson. I'm like, the Holy Spirit. I already know about the Holy Spirit. He said, you don't know about the Holy Spirit. He said, you take it for granted, the Holy Spirit. You take, because you got it every day. He said, you don't understand how important, it's so important that I'm not going to step out of nothing into something for you. He said, I can't do it. Because when I do it, you equal with me, and you can't be equal with me, Brandon. I said, what? He said, the only thing going to make you equal with me is I send the Holy Spirit. And really, you still ain't equal, because the only thing I see you is my Holy Spirit.
Right. That's right.
So if I discover God's Holy Spirit, that's why I can give up some things in my life.
That's right.
That's why if they be drawn, they'll only be drawn by the Holy Spirit. You can do all you want to do. Keep doing what y'all doing. But if you ain't got the Holy Spirit inside of you, it's a waste of time. Let me end with this. I said the 3D pen, you saw it, the Holy Spirit, the 5D. That's why in 3D, and I ain't get the lesson out this, Zoe had cancer. But in 4D, she did it.
That's right. My God.
No. In 3D, Zoe had cancer. I'm telling you, I saw the test. I saw, the man brought it to me.
Right.
But when we thought in 4D, look up 4D and 5D, it's going to blow your mind how it works. In 3D, you can start the company based on your family. But in 4D, you running the company.
All right.
This crazy. In 3D, you can write the book. In 3D, you can forgive. In 3D, you can trust. In 3D, you can have faith. In 3D, you can be delivered. But in 4D,
Come on now. My God.
I found out I got to live in 4D. 3D ain't doing no good for me because that's my natural. I need supernatural to get where I'm in my life.
Yes.
I said it to say this. And I'm going to get to the lesson. I said it to say this. I had an issue that I had been dealing with for years. And Lord knows I thought I had it under control. To me, I did. Because I was carrying it. And I thought I was doing good. But when I got 40, things changed. My kids, my daughter, my marriage, my life. Started taking the blood pressure pills. the demons. And in that 4 years, from 40 to 45, I just knew I had this thing right. And demons would lay dormant. And in that 5 years, I didn't realize I had put a mask off on every demon except one. Now, you can keep preaching, you can keep teaching, and keep loving your spouse. But you know what goes on one-on-one.
Right.
And I sit there and told God, I thought I had this demon, but this demon had me. He said, what is it? None of your business. But it was one. And I knew I had this demon. And what happened, and I'll read this to get back to that. If you look at Discover the Holy Spirit, it said very few seem to be interested in the Holy Spirit. Why? When it's not was not the work of the Holy Spirit, there would be no gospel, no faith, no church, no Christianity in the world at all. Right. Most people do not have interest in the Holy Spirit. They have interest in God and Jesus, but they don't have no interest in the Holy Spirit. Right. The next thing the Holy Spirit has long been the Cinderella of the Trinity. The other two sisters have gone to the theology ball, but the Holy Spirit got left out every single time. The Christian life is a life of Christ in us, but without the moment by moment, I love it, relying on the Holy Spirit, the level of living is impossible. I know some of y'all think the Holy Spirit is taboo. And some of y'all think that ain't the Holy Spirit. Somebody needs to get some drink or do something to them. I don't church have showed that. That you get says you want to try to speak in tongues, say da 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 ba ba ba, motorcycle, kind of, and they and then once you get into that's the Holy Spirit. I ain't talking about feeling tongues. I'm talking about having God inside of you so you can live a daily life. I'm talking about discovering the true essence of God inside of you, so you can the true essence of God. So if you don't get it, God put me on a crossroad. He said, "Here you go, Bree." He said, either you can take death or life. Now, he's not dying, though. No. Physically dying.
Right.
Yeah. I know people say, you're going to be at a crossroad. Like, at a crossroad, at a crossroad. No. Some of y'all going to get a crossroad. He said, you're like a bow and arrow. Some people I barely pull back and shoot them to right. Some people I shoot to the door. Some people I shoot the huntsville. But B, I shoot you further than that. He said, I got your arrow so pulled back. So you can't do what other people do. I don't know where God got the areas in your life. I don't know how much God's shooting you. But based on him shooting you, that's based on the life you're going to live. So God put me at a crossroads. He said, B, take off the mask or you're going to die. I'm not going to call my wife and tell her to put more insurance on me. I knew I was at a crossroads. It's my time. I got a couple minutes. I knew I was at a crossroad. And to me, I wasn't really doing nothing because I kept telling God, the reason why I'm here is based on what happened to me in my childhood life.
Yeah.
I kept telling him, I kept repeating it to God. Crying out to him. I was coming up here. Some nights when I was here, over the church door myself. You didn't know about that. Coming to Rizzo by myself. Right. Coming to the altar telling God, it's all because of you. I'm in this situation. And God said, you still on the crossroad. And I was looking at God, some brothers, but like, I was looking at God. That's my coat. Ooh, Lord. Go to fire. Look at Guess how I knew that, though? Because the Holy Spirit on me. He said, smell, boy, don't you smell something burning? Y'all gonna burn up in there, listen to the word. I just bought this coat, too. That's why I don't worship nothing. I just told her to keep. I just took the tag off of it. Life go like that. But get to this, and I'm getting back to my time. Discover God see you at a crossroad. Now, I ain't I was out there doing nothing like crazy. He said at a crossroad. He said you're at a crossroad. And I was like, God, why my inflection so heavy? He said, now you can make a choice. And I sit there at the crossroad, and the only thing made me take the right road because I had the Holy Spirit in me. If he had not put the Holy Spirit in me, I would have committed suicide. Because I was tired of it. Because I had told God, I asked you to get it out of me, and your butt still didn't do it. It's really your fault, God. That's what I told God. I told God, I said, this is your problem, and you telling me to deal with it. He said, look, I ain't coming back. Jesus ain't coming back. You got the Holy Spirit, idiot. I was like, what you mean? I know I've been filled. He said, no, you got the Holy Spirit to make the right choice. So I sit there with a mask on, and I start discovering people watch. That was that scary movie you watch. I'm gonna rush it. It was in your spirit. You heard him in your pneuma. You heard him here. He spoke to you right in your pneuma. It made your mind make the right decision. He didn't hear it verbally. And some people have. As a matter of fact, he said if you look at the Bible, every time they said he saw God, it always changed. Even Revelation, when he talks about he saw God, he gets off guard and starts talking about the angel. Keep reading, that's how he's talking about. Even a boy hooked up and wrestled with the angel. Even when the Hebrew boy saw him, it still was Jesus. Nobody really saw God. So the only way you're going to make it on this earth, if you get the Holy Spirit inside of you. The next thing, go to the next thing, go to the next thing. I keep going because I can teach this. It was talking about what's the name, and I should go across this. It talks about how God's name is in many conversations. And to pronounce the word, if I can say it right, y'all go down the line, it's called, say that from y'all. Vehemently. Say it again. That means a passion. Think about it. Some of y'all say, I know, I read it. At the first page at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Vehement. It said vividly. That's it, right? Okay, thank y'all. That means a passion that you have to say his name. You keep reading, talk about how you had a game or football, and they call out Jesus' name. What they're saying, you go to the next page, people call out God's name and Jesus' name, but they won't talk about the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Oh, God, man. Jesus done it. We'll talk about all the time. God is good, but nobody will talk about the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Which that's all we have. You keep reading. So whether they know him, the next page, whether they know him or not, most people kind of comfortable by using God's name in their conversation. Even Satan will use. You'll talk to somebody and they'll say something about God. You'll be like, that ain't saved. Them jokers end up in the hospital. Pray for me. You don't even know God. You really pray for you. They'll take your oil and put on you. God, they'll pick up oil. You know they ain't say, man, anoint me. How do you know it? They'll say, Jesus. That's it all day. But in this, keep reading, it said, but not the Holy Spirit. He's named to the person of the Trinity. Even his name is a mystery. King James version of the Bible refers to the Holy Spirit. They talk about that spooky. Y'all know about that, being kind of spooky. So when they talk about Jesus, it's okay. They talk about God, it's okay. But if they say the Holy Spirit, it's spooky. I know what time. So God is okay to say. Let me say this. Jesus is okay to say. But the Holy Spirit we won't want to talk about it. Once, because the Holy Spirit convicts you. God ain't going to stop you from doing nothing. Start cussing now, bitch. God ain't stop you. Start cussing. God ain't going to stop you. When you leave there, creep out on your spouse. God is not going to stop you.
That's right.
Sometimes you have a car thing, but most times you're going to get away with it. Oh, y'all look at me like it ain't the truth. Some of y'all must be creeping. I don't know it. Because I ain't out past 12 half of the time, so I don't know it. I'm going to close my eyes and say that again. Jesus ain't going to stop you. When Jesus came down to stop you from not doing something that's not God, only thing going to stop you is the Holy Spirit, and it just convict you.
That's right.
God ain't going to stop you. Jesus ain't going to stop you. The only thing convict you is the Holy Spirit, and you don't want to talk about the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
Something that happened to me, right to stop me. Right in the meaning now.
Right.
I got away.
Right.
Y'all didn't catch me.
Right.
Let me go this time, right? You can't hold on to me like God for real. You got to act with me, man. Make my sermon preach, man. This Josh should have got you, but check out preach my sermon. Let my teach and preach. So I mean, God came down to time, matter, and space. Now he equal with me. So I try to do that, and God. Now watch this. This is crazy. Say Jesus. And came back again. And Jesus started to stop me. Go again. Watch this. But if he's the Holy Spirit, you're not going to try to stop me. You're just going to convince me not to do it. So now what I get ready to do it, you're going to convince me. Or you're going to convict my spirit. And I come to you and say something.
Okay, hold on, wait.
That's what he's going to do. And I'm going to turn.
That's good.
It's just this simple. Yeah.
That's good.
That's why you still going through what you're going through. Because you think God's going to come down and Jesus going to come down. And he's not. He just convicted you. And you got your ears going, la, 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 la. I don't want to hear the conviction. No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to do it. Go ahead and do it. Because God and Jesus ain't coming back. He already can convict your black, white, or Chinese butt. If you keep on doing it, he going to rip the covers off your butt. Time going. Go to the next one. It's in a big picture. I'm going to rush up. This blew my mind. Y'all knew how good God being to me. Y'all blew my mind. It's to go to the next. It's the Holy Spirit. It said the Holy Spirit is not a person. If y'all read that, it talk about the triune, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. It talk about how everybody familiar with the name of God and Son. That's what it's talking about. But it's saying everybody for me, skip page, go to the Holy Spirit. It talks about, if you go over, you see the low key of the high power. And let's talk about a dam. I pronounce it if I can. Again, it's Top Baylor. If I ain't saying it right. It's one of the biggest dams. Matter of fact, if you keep reading it, the dam is in Pakistan. On the ladders on the dam are so big, you can see it in his face. You read it. It's powerful there. It talks about how important the dam is to give the water. But if you go talk to anybody in Pakistan, they complaining about the bill and not talking about the source. You read that and say they complain about how high their bill is and the water ain't running right. But they ain't talking about how powerful the dam is. You talk to Christians. They say God is good and Jesus is good, but they ain't telling you how to really get deliverance, the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
Right.
They ain't talking about really you convicted by the Holy Spirit.
Right.
We left the Holy Spirit. Except you read good, the Bible would never make the Holy Spirit a person. Or it, I mean. It never makes it an it. It put in the same sentence as God and Jesus,